Good morning. This is Lauren Rowan, surfing Vuzuvaya, here in paradise, because paradise is where I am. And also, Applied Old Carmen's kind of paradise. Oh, um, it is another beautiful day. I think many people have been feeling all these huge shifts and transits. Again, this intense barrage of solar storms that just has not stopped. And saw that another one should be arriving today, tomorrow, more like it, and that this again affects our own electrical systems and how much of our mental body is electric, right? Synapse is firing. That's an electrical process. How much of life and our experience of life and our perception of life is electric, right? So riding the waves can get a little tiring. Remember that you have the right to get off of your surfboard and take a moment to relax, to swim to the sides of the current, to take a moment and grab a breath on the shore. You know, I know myself, and I've heard from many clients and friends that these constant waves have been ends of many illusions in their life, that they're noticing specific patterns of some of the emotional patterns and mental patterns that have challenged them very centrally in their life, really coming into focus right now. And isn't that incredible? That is the opportunity that these huge influxes of high vibrational sunlight and its ups and downs, again, in the experience of our physical body, that these are bringing. And this comes back very much to a sense of unmasking the self, right? Letting go of our masks. It's interesting because in this last 2 weeks, I have seen a lot of shifts in people's faces and experienced in mine a constant shift. Day by day, hour by hour, moment by moment. In the situations in which I am most comfortable and most relaxed, my face is my face. And the situations in which I feel that outward pressures upon myself that I'm reacting to rather than coming from a completely clear place, there is where the masking is. And here's the thing about masks. They can be really useful, right? And we all wear them. You know, it's like I was talking the other day about my mom voice. You know, the voice that my friend had to teach me to develop. Thank you, Katie Duncan, wherever you are. My friend had to teach me to develop when my son was really young, because children respond to a certain kind of pitch and intensity of voice. You know? And so, these masks are useful, they're real, and they are ways that we, in some ways, they're a relief because we can display other aspects of ourselves with our friends and with our most relaxed, closest people in our life than we can in our professional life. Those things, what are masks, what are boundaries, right? And then also, what are masks for? If you're masking things to hide them from yourself, then that's where stuff gets dangerous. If you start to believe your own lies. And here's the thing, that is not a rare thing. Each and every one of us have places in which we believe our own bullshit. Right? You know, it's a constant process of choosing. It's a constant process of listening and coming to know the self better because, as you've mentioned also in the dynamic of intimacy, you know, that, okay, we'll come back to that. Getting on many trains, choo choo. Sometimes my brain is like Grand Central Station. And because of the joy of learning about a new internet connection, it's been a while since I talked to you guys. So I feel like there's so much to say. When illusion breaks, it's not always fun. It's okay to have grief about our illusions. It's okay to consider and look out for our illusions. You know, it's okay to like be attached to aspects of those illusions, to people who played roles within them. And then there are those dynamics in life in which people are really invested in us having illusions because it benefits them. And this is where the nature of things like gaslighting and manipulation come in, whether someone is conscious of it or not. It's amazing how many people, especially men over a certain age, though no one is exempt, are taught that gaslighting is actually social interaction, is the way to have a conversation with women. I just do love when, talking with someone and they're like, you should do this. This is the way this is done. And it's like, really? I didn't ask. And thank you for sharing your truth with me. And why do you believe your structure is necessary for my experience? If I didn't sign up for this, if I didn't agree to this structure, it is not mine. And really, people are, sometimes people are coming from a very genuine place of like, this is the way it's supposed to be. But being aware of how in our lives we take our own illusions and we punish other people, or we expect other people to live by the illusions that we have. This seems the natural extension of this opportunity right now. In awareness of our own illusions, how are we reacting? How are we acting from this awareness? Are we defending our illusions and our patterns and expecting other people to play the roles our illusions say that they should play? Are we expecting ourselves to play the roles of illusions? And how do we step out of that? How do we let that go? How do we pop it like a balloon and move on in our lives? You know? There are so many ways and approaches and considerations in that dynamic. The central place they all come from is peace. The central place they all come from is that sweetness. And coming back to that place inside yourself, you don't need to have words to describe. You don't need to have a method or it can just be what it is, you know? And so, yeah. And so, letting it be, letting it sit, not needing to engage with it, not needing to listen to its explanations anymore, whether inside your head or outside from people who've invested in your illusions, or your illusions are connected to theirs, or they need you to confirm their own illusions. Bless them. You know, we don't need to argue with their illusions or engage with them at all. The only thing we are responsible for is our own selves. The only thing we have any right to tell what to do is within us. Yeah. Isn't that, just drink that in for a moment. It is not just about, oh, but I'm helping. No. Release, let go. They're all maestros. They are all masters of their reality. They do not need you holding on to their illusions for them. They do not need you smashing their illusions for them. They have their own process. And when you fully engage, when you fully commit to dispelling your own illusions, then you are at the same time changing your vibration. And when you have let go of your own illusions and dealt with your own self, then you will also trigger and connect. You will not have the hooks or the connector spots for other people's illusions. And other people may react to that, they may not notice. But on an energetic level, this is very powerful and impactful, as we know that when one is in alignment, one resonates, literally interacting with all of creation all of the time, and that the natural world around us, all the beings we are connected to, the mental health of the beings we are around, that this is, the effect, is our presence, is the vibration that we are responsible for. This is our job, being us in this lifetime, right? So breathe in with me this morning, this beautiful day, wherever you are. Breathe in the joy and comfort of knowing that you are responsible for you and none else. And if you have little babies and stuff, you're responsible for the little babies and for holding space for them and guiding them. Let's be clear. If you have vulnerable beings that require your care, whether in the young age or the very advanced age, then that is absolutely a responsibility. But you're not responsible for their emotions. You are responsible for holding space for their emotions. It's very different for being responsible or having ownership for who they are and how they feel. Sovereignty is the understanding of the nature of that responsibility. And you cannot take sovereignty away from any other being. It is not possible. And if you endeavor to convince other beings that you own their sovereignty, again, it is a dance of illusions. Best of luck and see how that plays out for you. But if you have been convinced that someone else owns your sovereignty, that someone else can influence or choose how you feel and who you are, I wish you well. You know? Wish them well. Forgive them. Forgive yourself. Ho'oponopono. You know? Thank and bless that person. Thank them. apologize first. Be like, I am so sorry that I gave you the responsibility of my own being instead of owning that responsibility for myself. I am so very sorry that I involved you in this dynamic and did not own my own power and gave you the responsibility of it instead. Please forgive me, because this was an unhealthy dynamic that I, as a sovereign being, chose to engage in with you, and I am truly, truly sorry. So please forgive me. Thank you for being part of this lesson of sovereignty. Thank you for doing this dance with me, so I have the opportunity to come to this place and learn and grow. When I was ready to let go of this illusion, to learn and grow. And I love you. In the infinite, we are all one. We are pieces of the same hologram. Yeah? It's not a malicious hologram. It's a playground of beautiful. The hologram isn't trying to trick you. The hologram is you. You are the hologram. Good job, eh? I love this universe you designed. This is incredible. You're amazing. So once again, I am so very, very sorry for engaging you in the illusions that I have created for myself and in my life as a sovereign being. Please forgive me for being part of this dynamic that is unhealthy, and please forgive me for letting go of this dynamic. I'm so very sorry for not being able to continue these unhealthy dynamics, and for pulling away and needing to shift, for owning myself because we had this unhealthy tie and I had to let go. Thank you for playing this role and this lesson in my life. Thank you for all that this has given me. And I love you. I love you and all of creation as independent sovereign beings and as reflections of my own self. And I love life. And I'm so very thankful. And this is where the sweetness lies, in that ownership, right? Ho'oponopono, in every way, in every day. This is a beautiful way of acknowledging and working through the grief that is a natural part of the process of letting go of our illusions. Is a natural part of owning our own sovereignty and really embracing who we are. And this is a natural part of what the entire planet is going through right now. And as a responsible cell in the body of the planet, this is impactful and important. I love you and I'm with you. Keep being incredible. Lori and Rowan, surfing Vuzuvaya. Sitting on my beautiful patio in paradise, because paradise is where I am. Paradise is in my heart and in my spirit. I love you. Yeah.